It is game number 37 in the conservation games, and today it is two ex-cricketers up against each other. All the way in Liverpool in England is former Zimbabwe captain Tatenda Taibu. Tatenda, nice to have you on the conservation games, and thanks for taking the time out to play.
It's great to be here, Marc.
And your opponent will be, again, a former national player, now farmer in Beatrice, Malcolm Waller, looking very, very smart indeed. It's pretty chilly in Harare today. Nice to have you playing the games, Malcolm.
Yeah, thanks, Poz. Nice to be here. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Nice to be up against Tatenda. Good to see you. It's been a while. Good to catch up and look forward to what we're about to get stuck into.
Just a quick one, Tatenda, just tell us what you're living in Liverpool. Tell us what you're up to. I believe your boys are up and coming budding cricketers, and it looks like the Taibu name in cricket is going to continue.
I think it looks like it. I've been in Liverpool for 4 years. The boys are comfortable here. The family, it's where we're calling home at the moment. When the COVID-19 started, we thought of ways to make sure that we keep going. And we simply started with just a fitness session in the morning from 7 to 8, and then everyone would be reading a novel from 8 to 9. And then from 9:30, they would start their virtual schooling. So from 9:30 to 2, they'll be doing their schooling, and then would go to the nets, for 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours sometimes. And that's when I realized that the younger boy is very natural. I mean, I hardly had to teach him anything with, to do with keeping. He just collects the ball the correct way. And he's batting, he's progressing at quite a rate. He's only been playing for 3 months. And now I just, throw proper throwdowns at him, and he knows to play the back foot, the front foot, and all the shots. And it's it's been nice to watch him play.
Oh, fantastic!
Or watch both of them play. Really.
Oh, fantastic! And Malcolm, tell us what are you farming in Beatrice?
Pause. At the moment, I'm just busy doing livestock. Mainly, I've got into doing boar goats.
Okay.
So that's what I'm focusing on at the moment. And I've got a couple of just running a few cattle as well, trying to improve that and increase the size of the herds out there. And yeah, I guess as I move forward and learn a lot more, we'll move into cropping, probably get maize, seed maize, and we'll just grow from there as I get into it.
Excellent, well done. Right, guys, here's the coin. Because Tatenda lives the furthest away, he's going to get the option of calling the toss. So I'm going to just move it around in my hands, and I'm going to go left or right, Tatenda?
I'll go for left.
Left. Unfortunately, you lose the toss. So, Malcolm, you get to ask Tatenda 2 questions out of the 4 questions that we've sent you. Each question is worth 2 points.
Okay, the first one I'm going to ask is, what is my highest score in first-class cricket?
What the heck? Malcolm.
I hope that was the correct question.
First class. Okay, tell me who you played against.
Pause. Am I going to give him this little option?
That would change, but obviously not going to tell him what you scored.
Okay, yes. Tiba, against Tuskers.
Against Tuskers. First class against Tuskers.
I thought you might just skip out that first class. So I thought, I better just throw that in there. I didn't pay much attention. You didn't think you'd pay much attention to first class.
I had a look and I thought there's no chance you ask me anything to do with first class. First class, I would say 207.
Ooh.
Am I way off?
No.
Oh,
it's jeepers. That's a pretty good call, eh?
Yeah.
That's a seriously good call. I think he's rubbing his chin there. He sucked it out.
Do you think we give him the point? Do you think I'll give him the points?
Pozzo, I reckon that's a good enough shout.
What,
Okay.
what did you get?
208. Right, I'll give
I'm
you the
telling
points.
I just thought when Malcolm got in, he would make it count. So it has to be above 200. So yeah, but if I was away from cricket, I would have known exactly, but I was away from cricket from 2012 to 2016. So that's
Okay,
Good effort.
right, so the elephant's off on the board. They're on the board with 2 points. Right, your next question.
The next question is, what is my middle name?
I read that. I read that this morning. No.
Right, maximum points for Tatenda and the elephant. Right, 4 points to Tatenda. Right, Tatenda, your turn to ask Malcolm. Let's see if Malcolm can come back here.
Okay, let me see.
Take it easy, Tiba. I was very gentle.
Okay, no. So these are quite easy for you, Malcolm. I played 28 test matches for Zimbabwe. What was my batting average?
Your batting average in tests is 30.9.
It's actually 30,
yeah, I remember it was around
30.3.
but yeah.
So I'm going to give you the points for that.
30.3.
Ooh.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, next question.
I played 150 ODIs for Zimbabwe. How many runs did I score?
Ooh.
I think it's the total runs in ODI cricket, Malcolm.
Just a total in ODIs.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 4,300.
4,300. I think. Thank you very much because you rate me highly, but I don't think I got to 4,000.
Oh.
I don't know what the answer is. So
You're just trying to trick me here, but I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I'm gonna work on. I think I can clearly remember in your first class because I looked through all of them. But but I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that 4,300.
I'm not
okay, that's incorrect. The correct answer is 3,393.
You see, I told you I tried to tip you, buddy.
Thank you, Tiba.
Right, we move on to the next part of the game, which is section 2, and it's our conservation questions away from sport for a moment, and these are a lot of fun. Tell us about your favorite conservationist.
It will have to be the former prince.
The former prince. Now he's just a working husband in
so he doesn't have a surname anymore.
Why Harry?
Well, I just like the way. Well, I think it's more his personality. I think it's more his personality that I liked from the time that I started following him, and the way that he would go virtually everywhere and be a people's person. Like you can really tell when someone is acting it up or when someone is really there to make a difference. So I thought if I don't really know a lot of what he's done for conservation, but I know that if he's going to do something, he's definitely going to to do it to the fullest.
Okay, right. Your first question, and it concerns your favorite animal, the cheetah. Your favorite animal being the cheetah. Mm-hmm. Tell us what their top speed is. What is the top speed of a cheetah? And I'll allow 5 kilometer leeway.
I remember a documentary when they were saying they get there to the highest speed from 1 to something seconds. I think it would have been
about the same as your takeoff speed during shuttles, Tiba.
I think they were saying up to 100 kilometers in whatever second. So I'll probably have to go, I'll say 110 kilometers per hour.
110. You're close. Do you want to have another go?
I will have to go up because it was 100 kilometers per hour in whatever seconds. So let me try 125.
Okay, that's incorrect. So I'm going to let Malcolm pick up a bonus point here. You got any ideas?
Pozzo, I'm going to say top speed of 120.
Okay, you're both wrong. The correct answer is actually 90 kilometers an hour.
Jeez, this morning I was reading, they say they cruise from 60 to 120 k's an hour.
But what I read, what the documentary was saying, it was saying that they get to about 90 in some few seconds. So I thought maybe it would actually, so maybe they would have reached their top speed.
Okay, so no points there for either of you. Your next question, Tatenda. Your favorite park is the Victoria Falls. What rock is the water flowing over at the Victoria Falls? Is it granite, basalt, sandstone, or dolomite?
You would have learned that at Churchill. I hope you've remembered from all those years ago.
He was in the nets practicing when there was geography.
I was definitely practicing. I'll have to take a proper guess there. I'll have to say basalt.
That's correct. Correct answer is basalt. Well done.
Right. Yes.
Okay, your first question. Now, when did David Attenborough last visit Zimbabwe? Was it 1965, 1980, 2012, or 2018?
2018. I'm going to just go with the newer.
2018 is correct. He actually traveled to see the wild dogs in Mana Pools, which is part of his current series at the moment. So that's absolutely correct. 2 points for you. Okay.
That's where you watch Wild Dog Dynasties, I think it's called.
That's correct. Now, the African elephant has an interesting, inefficient digestive system. How long do you think the intestine of a large male elephant is? Large and small intestines combined. 5 meters or 10 meters or 19 meters or 25 meters?
Because I'm going to go with 19.
That is absolutely correct. Spot on. They produce huge amounts of dung, only digested between 40 to 50% of their food. So very good indeed. Well done. So at that point, after the conservation questions, it is 6 plays 6. So still lots of points to be won here, guys, as we go into our break. And then we come back and we go into our next part of the questions where Malcolm will ask Tatenda. So don't go away.
Our wildlife needs help. Tourism to Africa is at an all-time low. You can assist by liking and sharing the conservation games. You can contribute financially by hitting the donate button on the Zambezia.com website. Let's get together and back up the frontline conservation team.
Right, welcome back. Okay, Malcolm, you get to ask Tatenda 2 questions about Tatenda's career. Let's see how well he has remembered his stats.
Okay, first one, Tiba.
Mm-hmm.
In your first ODI you played in New Zealand, who caught you out?
In my first ODI.
Oh, sorry. In your last ODI that you played against in New Zealand, you were out caught. Who got you?
That's very easy. That was Brenda McCallum. I think I scored 50 something, and it was a rubbish. I remember that because it was a rubbish shot. Someone bowled a short ball. Someone was in the ball, and he didn't have a deep square leg, and he didn't have a cow. And do you know where I tried to hit it? Over long off. That's how I remember it. It was
exactly
that
where the guy
terrible.
was.
Brenda McCallum wasn't keeping. So it was Brendo McCallum.
I think Watling might have been keeping in those games, eh?
Yes, it was Watling keeping. Brendo McCallum had scored, I think he got 150 in that match. Oh, he scored some runs.
Yeah.
But I remember it was just it, and he gave me a send-off as well.
Yeah.
Was it not Colin de Granda?
No, Colin wasn't playing in that game. Colin played the first few games, and then he got injured or something. But he only played a few games. I think a few T20s as well, and then either got dropped or got injured, and then he didn't play the rest of the series. And then yeah.
Okay.
So it was Brandon McCallum. He caught me on
Let's
deep.
hope you're right. Poz, have you tricked him into something there?
Nah. It is I'm 100% correct.
Okay.
I remember. Do you know? I used to write my when I was in Form 1. I would write. We played against Hugo'sville. I scored this many runs. I got out this way, and I used to have a book like that. So
Yeah.
I always almost remember every match. Brandon McCallum.
Right, I hope that's not just a little story. Let's see.
Okay.
One
Next
of your
question.
novels.
Good.
Poz, so that was correct, was it?
Yeah, he's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Just clearing that up.
Yeah.
All right, Tiba, in your T20 debut against Australia, you bowled 2 overs. Can you remember how many runs you went for?
Right. It was over. I went for over 6 runs in over. I would bowl. I almost got a run. It was a run every ball and then a boundary every over. It was more than 7 runs and over. I would have gone for 16, either 16 or 17 runs in those 2 overs. I got hit for a 6. I got hit for that ball. So that was.
And then 5 dot balls.
Yeah, I got.
5
was
dot
one-
balls with that round on.
There was. I didn't. There weren't so many dot balls. I remember BT conceding a bye, and the rest, some of them, most of them were singles. So there was a 4, there was a 6, and then there were about. So that's 10. Then that's 10. Then that dot ball off. Then the rest, I reckon, would have been singles. So it's between 17 and 18. I'll have to go for 17.
Okay, now that day was quite an introduction. There was an upset that day, wasn't there?
It wasn't upset. Played really well. Brendan Taylor played a massive innings. Well, we just had a perfect day out. Introduction of World T20, and we're up against so-called the best in the world at that time. And we caused an upset. We won against Australia in the last over. I think it was the second last ball. And we couldn't believe that, what had just happened. It was just a massive day.
Okay, well, I'm going to spoil your bubble here because you actually went for 21 runs that day.
Ooh.
That's not a bad effort, Tiba. 15 years back.
It's
not
a bad call. Right.
Yeah.
Then your turn to ask Malcolm.
Don't get too excited there, please.
Okay. In a flash of T20 brilliance, you scored 68 of how many balls against Bangladesh in Dhaka? I remember watching this game on TV.
I can remember that game clearly, but now the balls is
the balls.
Definitely, I can remember a lot of
the match that day as well.
Yeah. But 32.
What do you say, Tatenda?
32. 32. I reckon. I don't remember. I don't remember the balls, but I think you really scored quickly towards the end. But you started off quite quite well. So I would think maybe 36, maybe.
Okay, well, the
It's going to
correct
be right in the middle there, 34.
the correct answer now. You saying 30? Hey, Malcolm.
32.
32. I think we got to give him the points here because the correct answer is actually 31.
Oh,
Wow.
oh.
Wow. Well,
I'm going to give you those points.
I think you got to give me that because you went a little bit higher. So
I went higher.
points.
I went higher. I didn't consider the sixes at the end.
And it was a bit better than you thought. So I reckon you got to give me that one.
I'll give you.
I've given you the points.
To be fair, you'll have to get that.
Okay, your next one.
All right. Yes, I don't think you'll get this one. Right.
There's probably not many that I'll get.
But you'll be getting them now. In your debut test match against New Zealand, we played together in this match in Bulawayo 2011. We lost on day 5. By how many runs did we lose by?
Now, I remember that one came down pretty tight, didn't it? I think we were batting together for a while, and then I think you got out, and I remember maybe batting with Bobby or.
Yes. I think we got in together. We were supposed to be winning it. We were supposed to be winning it from the time I was betting with BT. We were supposed to finish it, and then BT threw it away, and then I threw it away.
I think you got a long hop as well, and then down.
Yeah.
So you both made half centuries that day.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm gonna go with
biter of a test match.
It was a nail biter, got pretty close, right down to the end. I'm gonna go with 19 runs.
19 runs.
I think that's a bit too many, Tiba. I think we got a bit tighter than that.
I think it got tighter than that.
Have another go.
Now, you'd remember, since you wrote it down in your book, you'd remember pretty well, I'm sure. You were probably sitting on the balcony jotting it all down. Those are the stats that Crick Info don't have. Right now, okay, fine. I'll go final answer 13.
Final answer 13. Okay, that's incorrect. The correct answer is 34 runs.
Oh, sheesh. Tiba, well played. You're very sneaky.
But at this stage, it's still it's still 8 points each, and we get to the fun part of the game where you can see I have 5 cards, and these are our Wacky Wilds, and a Wacky Wild is worth 5 points towards your team and your score. So your performance needs to count here, guys. So I'm going to just shuffle the cards up.
Now, look, before you do that, say again, Marco.
Should we do a little coin toss to see who has to make a fool of themselves first?
Well, I wanted to ask for something first, because if I choose the giraffe, I'm gonna need a bit of help with the height.
You can be a baby
so
giraffe.
I've asked my boys to help me out when it comes to that. So can I just call my boys to help with that?
100%.
TJ.
Okay, I've got the coin here. Malcolm?
Yeah.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads it is. Right.
I'd like to see Tiba.
What?
You want to see T-Ban first?
You have to
Tiba and his family of giraffes.
Okay.
You guys are pygmy giraffe.
Okay, guys.
I'll go second from your left.
Second from my left. That one.
That's the correct one.
I don't believe it. I don't believe what you've just called.
I dreamt about it. Dreamt about it.
Right.
That's probably
only Gallop.
Prepared.
I'm gonna push this back slightly so that
you get yourself prepared.
Right, G, come.
Jesus, if you don't get 5 points using all the kids,
Oh, I
then
like
a lot of
the
what's going
tracksuit.
on.
I like the tracksuit.
Correct team.
That's the correct team.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, Giraffe's gone.
There we go.
Well done. Oh, out of 5. What a
Tiba, I didn't get any of that. Pause. Did you see it?
Hey?
You must have got lucky. The whole screen went black.
You make out the picture there.
Okay.
Was the giraffe too tall?
Fair effort. I'm going to give you 3 points.
Okay.
3 out of 5. So there's 4 cards left.
So that galloping giraffe's gone.
That's gone. Right. Which one?
Pause, I'll go that one. Your first right.
My first right. So the end one.
That's correct.
Right. Fish, eagle, flap, and call.
This has to be, jeez, this one's got to be the most picked card. Right, yeah, let me just get my, there have been some good ones. I think the other ones I prepared were pretty decent. This was probably my most underprepared one. And I've got a little beak to go here, made by my son, who's going to be my baby fish eagle for the day. Okay, please just lift it up. We're going hunting. Since Tiba managed to use his little youngster.
That's a nice one.
There's my baby fish eagle.
Hey!
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait, I'm seeing you.
Oh no, sorry.
Bad mommy.
Do you get? Might have to give him minus points because he's crying.
No, I think I got that fish a bit too hard.
Oh, shame.
Shame.
Okay. 3 points as well.
Thank you.
The game.
Couldn't quite get that call out of the beak.
The game is finished at 11 apiece. So 11 points each will go towards your total team scores to your captains. Your captain, Malcolm being?
Jenna.
Jenna, is it? And you've got to actually stand up and show everybody your outfit.
Right. You know, it's a bit chilly today, so I haven't quite gone like everyone else. But
Okay.
I mean, how am I going to get? I don't think you got to see much of it there. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't get it on there.
Okay, so you haven't got your box. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Oh, you can't get. There's some of my life's lovely sleeping stuff, but I've had to go with tracksuit pants under because it's a bit too chilly.
Okay, fair enough. Well done.
Right,
guys,
here we go. You can have a good look.
Hey, fantastic. Well done. Guys, once again, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've had fun. Let's just quickly talk about conservation quickly because obviously it's the conservation games. I'll start with you, Malcolm. Conservation, where do you see conservation going in the future? How would you like to see conservation moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work that has got to go into it, and I think it's extremely difficult to manage, especially in these times. I think it's getting a lot harder. It's going to need to be a serious effort from, if you're just looking in Southern Africa, everyone living here within Zimbabwe, Botswana, Zambia, all around, you've all got to make a huge effort, I think, to try and get involved. I think if you just leave it up to a certain few individuals, I don't think it's going to get very far, and it's probably 15, 20 years time, maybe when our little kids grow up, there's not going to be much for them to see. So I think, it's a huge effort on the part of everyone. I think we've got to get out there, all those that go out into the wild, they've got to try and, and educate, not only just going and enjoying your holidays and going on safari, but trying to educate everyone that lives around there. And, you've also got to try and find ways for people living around these parks to survive. Life's getting a lot tougher. Populations are growing, and it just becomes a lot harder for people to live. So obviously there's a lot of cultivation, but if they can find ways of trying to get all the communities around these parks to survive and partake in conserving all these national parks, I think that's one of the major ways it can help and improve. But if we neglect all these people living around these areas, I don't think, and don't train them and educate them, I don't think we'll get very far, and it will probably decline.
Excellent.
So it's just, yeah.
I think it's all to do with awareness. I think the more people are aware of what goes on, and I mean, just being involved in this game, the amount of knowledge that I've got about conservation now is amazing. And if with games like this, getting the word out for as many people to get involved as possible, I think if we get the awareness levels, up and high, then it can only be better. I mean, it's when we are privileged to be able to visit the safaris and being able to enjoy, all the animals, and if we can get the word out, if we can make sure that enough corners are reached in awareness, the better it is for everyone.
Excellent. Well, guys, thanks very much for playing. This has been our final game in the series of the Conservation Games 2020, and you two have been magnificent contestants. Tatenda, keep well. Hope your family stay well in Liverpool, and we hope to see you back in Zimbabwe soon. Malcolm, keep the munda going, and look after those mombies out there, and stay well.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me out, Tiba. It's been great. Thank you.
It's always good, but
thanks, guys. Keep well.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Bye.